You don't understand? Some students them no they even attend classes. Once you don't make package for the lecturer, you get so that's it and get the role for play. You also get the public institutions. Plenty public institutions that they succumb to political pressure. Now they sit down and they tell you this because me I don't have several boards. When they do appointments, sometimes let list they kind of this list from so place and take them people there. They don't want to know whether they qualify or they don't qualify. So person go just go get paper. You know they study hard, you know they get the skills. So all man, that conspiracy where the party talk, now they agree and now they analyze for you.
All right, thank you very much. Now, Council, the Fwabe College Vice Chancellor for Fwabe College, University of Sierra Leone. The SLTU presidents don't add the university. They say the culture of corruption submits with money, assignments, money, pamphlet culture. In fact, there's also the sexual elements, particularly for female students, too, when are part of the corruption at the university. What will be your contribution to this debate on how we address these specific threats to education at the country? Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Minister. My family, good evening. Me see corruption on all the practices there. We not correct as a cost-benefit issue. You get cost, you get benefit. And we Montaman, we God make they call we rational beings. If at all at the benefit per something, you know, and the benefit pass the cost, I get for go do that thing. The benefit, for example, if at all I not say if I get for do something, they're not gonna catch me. For me they catch me, it hard. The tendency good day for say I go do them. Or if they catch me, they don't do me nothing, or they don't do me better thing. I will continue for them. The cost will be if at all, if I do them, they go catch me. The probability for me they catch me is high, that will make I not go and do them. Or if they catch me, they will give me very severe punishment. Where go they tell me go make I not go do them. So each decision, anyway, you make that decision they based on the cost here or those benefits. Look, for example, then people that will get fake degree, when they come, they say they get degree with a line they like. They don't go all around the country, they don't do investigation. But wait not be the penalty. They don't do anything. So, it's possible for say post system go there, instead say, Mr. Go back to salon and I cannot get degree, I say I get PhD, you know, they go and play me so say at the catch money. Because the benefits surpass the cost. So what do you mean they suggest, Minister, that this issue of digitalization of the operations? One thing, now make in fact, I see for say the Minister of Education, they push this issue around all the educational do a number of things. One, it expand access. People that who say they not be they forget, they will get far, they will get access to education. Second, it make the system resilient. The quick crisis be like we will get Ebola. You could then host out, they could teach you, you could still learn. But the most important thing the bear on this question we ask is that it will make you the probability of detection will be increased. Would it increase the cost of involving in?
Thank you very much, Professor. I really appreciate that because you introduce the issue of impunity. The fact say people get away with it. That impunity means. So even by the way, on the points where the SLTU man make about corruption, this that. The points where Professor makes so now the bigger points. Poor people everywhere are capable of behaving just as bad as rich people. The question now whether if you go be held accountable when you do that bad thing there. So that's my question actually for you, Mr. Commissioner. Question of impunity. I want to come back to you. And then the 2 minutes are there. I want to ready for response. Again, on the question of impunity, I think it's a very important question for higher education and as well for basic and senior secondary education. Yeah. How do we respond to this question? Say, people the way they cheat, will they catch them, will they left them? They're not they hold them accountable. Yes, sir.
No, thank you. So, for example, examination malpractice na a generally administrative issue, not a law enforcement issue. It just can't be say, for example, at that time when we intervene in that kind of way was because we realized that administratively not much was being done. We will make reports with the Senam and we will not be getting a response, we will get. So it was to capture the attention of the people. And I remember in recent times, I remember ministers sometimes don't call me and I say, no, our role as Anti-Corruption Commission is not to monitor exams. We should not be doing that. We only did it at that time to draw your attention. Now that we have your attention, do what has to be done to fix this problem on a mass scale. So things like impunity, for example, we do reports. Look, Minister, there all the time we refer to them. And if you read this report, you find out, say, there was a huge coordination, principals, teachers, parents, administrators, security sector, all of them working together. Are you going to take all of them, prosecute them at ACC and put them in prison? No, that would be a waste of time, a waste of resources, and it would be most ineffective. So it's a question of the administrative system organizing itself properly to handle this and then to deal with it. And then it comes back again to what he said about the recruitment of principals and the sanctions that apply to those who engage in things like this. Are they going to continue? So basically, when it comes to impunity, all of us have to do. Right now, we have a teacher in custody. This teacher, one WAEC supervisor, gave him papers to mark on his behalf. So WAEC supervisor, then give WAEC, give papers there for mark. Then intake them paper there, give one teacher for help and mark. The teacher take the paper there, put the envelope on their arm. They go from house to house, they knock on the parents' door. And say, parents, you picking Nancy Cisse seat NPSC, not to so? You say yes. I get a paper now. I want 300,000 euros and they make Nancy take that paper back today. Then I mark her now. Before I submit to WAEC. We get that teacher there in custody right now. Right. So this not to guesswork, and I've been telling the minister this before I come here. I say, me in a law enforcement person, I'm not a policy man. I'm not there for negotiate salaries. I'm not there for negotiate costs. I don't even want to be part of the conversation around salaries. Me just believe, say, if somebody engage in examination malpractice, that person there for be held accountable, period.
Full stop.
If you are not paid well, that is a problem between you and your employer. And for Kamnaya and sit down to listen to this, and I will tell Minister just now, you cannot be having a conversation on people cheating, and in that same conversation, will they get a conversation on the salary of the person where they commit the cheating?
I'm telling you.
That is a fundamental error. And when I all can clap all you want, clap. But you are clapping away your futures because these are justifications that are never going to end. Every money you get, every salary they pay you, you will want more. So teachers are never going to be happy with their salaries until you all die and go. But you can sit down here when they say teachers are not paid well, therefore they are cheating, and you clap your way and you are happy about it. I am telling you, this is a serious problem. And in this conversation they get now, we are either talking about the solutions of dealing with examination malpractice and block out every other thing.
Thank
we
you.
just allow it to go.
Thank you, sir. By the way, the people the way they become examine and you exam. The people the way na examine at them now WAEC, the teacher waiting in custody now. When you go for le WAEC hire you as examiner for mark paper, you they get contract with WAEC. Then they pay you for being an examiner. You know, still stop that possibility they pay them. For let go around and knock and still cheat. The kind of commissioner say, you can clap all you want. Any country will not get a commitment on integrity. Not so integrity, not nothing to do with how much you are paid. They don't do multiple studies all over the world. But some of the biggest thief man are the people who they pay the biggest. The biggest banks, the owners and the thief man and at the end of the day. You don't get nothing for doing that. You either have integrity or you don't. And they tell you, say, me mama, he teach for 40 years almost. Me mama. He sell all kinds of things. I come on school, I go sell kerosene. I come on people who have been a they know that. We sold everything. So you know go cheat. So personally they convince me, say, I cheat because they not pay me enough. Administrative sanctions. Lord, go ahead, sir.
Okay, I think myself the reinforce within check no say me self mama and papa and I'm a teacher and then working at the 80s and what he say, you know, this na age business, but what he say in the 80s you dey go months, you no get salary. And wallahi, I can talk now confidently. They can record me people in the scene at the diaspora. They're not one day involved for malpractice. My own values came from them. So that's not the first thing. The second thing also is a point that the commissioner made. You know, it's interesting. I was thinking before I say, me not the only minister, every tell what the media, I dey get me union in a day at the same stage with me, along with civil societies and everything. So that ain't not a bad thing, oh, because but what it means to say anything I say, there is a counter. You understand me? What you mean I dey beg the media them for do? You know, seriously, we don't make some serious inroads in education. I want to now call me, let's talk outside of this. We dey deal with this, but let's talk outside of this. The reason why they say so, the president in the next month, they be the key model for the replenishment of GP, the biggest education funding in the world.
Global Partnership for Education.
Global Partnership for Education. They get 190 heads of states in the world. Then choose them. Why? Because of the thing that what they do in this country. Like they look at TikTok, the Liberian minister, it introduced civic education. Just this last week now it took. We don't do civic education years ago. Then with the reviewer now. The Ghanaians are the talk now, say we they begin teach speaking in Chinese now primary school. The Minister of Higher Education will tell you that we don't go we begin in primary school, state schools, then they talk Chinese. Yes, the Minister of Education at Ghana, now they think about that. But let's address the problem. You know, when I start or look at what would they do, I start off say we they introduce a WAEC bill. This now for deal with them very same issue where they talk. The last time we the bill we get na 1984, the year when myself take O levels. You understand? So we not be get the tools there we give we all the good and that with it now. Just before I can at this meeting, me and my leadership team they review the TSA Act. In that act, they say the whole acts now only focus on government and government assisted schools. Now they say we need to bring private schools inside this school because some of the problems that we get in private schools. This will give you the teeth for really deal with this situation. But if you look at the Basic Education Act also, it spell out very clearly sanctions that we'll get for put against this. Therefore, you know, at the Yeri Alfonso 110 over the weekend, they talk about section 26, section 80, 82, and all that. And we get the rules. And let me say this, what you said to Najisno, I say 58 principle, we suspend them for 1 year without salary. So the action they take, even for worse, we don't sign another taking because we know all the game the way they play, which we own principle them. Now we dey wait for the results. Safu one, we know wetin dem don do, and perhaps we go get them. I go tell una that. But let me so when the individuals are caught, we dey take action. Me and the commissioner they talk all time. But in addition to that, there is a difference between what you call malpractice, that a way picking duty way you're not supposed to do now the exam and bring foreign materials and waiting. I just Google this now. I said then they get malpractice now in UK exams there. Wallahi, then they get. Then they get. You Google and you sell.
Of course.
Yes. The second thing way they get, now what they call maladministration. This now where the school itself condone some of their action. And in terms of action, the would they take? We they suspend centers. If we know say center they involved in malpractices or maladministration, then they open paper the term before the exam be and all that. These actions we they take them.
Right.
And what would they do? Will they bring more legislation for giving more teeth for do this?
Thank you, Minister.
No, but like one more thing. I see people in clap where the SLTU person talk about salaries. Now, this maladministration who they deal with about people who will not submit, the failure to submit CAS. A private school, not to government, they pay them. Last week, I go meet one other one, a private school, not to government, they pay them. So this notion that, if you not get salary high, for coup profession they now, where they get them challenged there. But I know they see that kind of action within that. So for me, no fence solution. I don't get all the solution, but I can work with you now and collaborate for fence solution.
And Ananime Kudea, so we all will talk about how together we all go address this problem. I want to move slightly, Madam Minister, if you allow me, to internal control measures, because you talk about maladministration, but within the university sector, for example, step then they will they put in place for make sure say we not get to corruption in the first place. Waiting that is something that we will need for do. So we don't need for even the crime be committed for think about impunity, but some internal control. And then Professor mentioned this thing quickly while you comment on fake degrees. Within the university they do for make sure say if we catch you say possibly lie by your paper. Whose step they wanna go for take for address that?
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. So the first point about waiting at the internal controls we'll get within the sector. So within technical and higher education is slightly different because we need to handle public exams. So the administration within the universities, as I said earlier, now they get them policies and punitive as a lecturer within a university in Sierra Leone, as a head of department, as dean, before I was appointed as minister. So I don't get first-hand experience as to how some of them so they unfold within the institutions of higher learning. And taking that into consideration, one thing where I firmly believe say we need for embrace now the use of digital platforms then. But it's not going to happen overnight. Now, but what they get in conversation there, so it's of value because my own greatest fear now for say examination malpractice, it's almost becoming a societal norm. It's just we always find a reason for justifying. When I the lecture, while they go inside the lecture room, my students will attest to this. I always say to them, I'm not just there for personal knowledge in my subject area. Most of them they look up to me. How I carry myself is very important because to man I get for be the future leaders then. So while then they within we higher education institutions in, they're not for CCA examination malpractice and normal thing because that is what they will take into their professional lives and pass on to them picking them. So when do we break the cycle? Ask any of me students them. They know what I stand for. Examination time. When I see with high yield all the time, examination time, I dress like soldier man for going invigilate. Nobody need to talk to me safe, and they laugh safe to nobody. And they know what I stand for when it comes to examination and examination malpractice. I get if there's a number beyond zero tolerance, that is what I have when it comes to malpractice, because I know what thing that they will do to a nation. Especially now as minister, you see what the government don't invest into education. We cannot afford for ladies to become something when a part and parcel of we. So one way we can use for minimize this, unfortunately enough, for remove the human touch or minimize the human touch and use technology. Technology to help in terms of efficiency, accountability, transparency. Like I said, not to really happen overnight because it needs a significant amount of investment into resources. Them. What do they think? I forget multifunctional ICT rooms. Them across all we higher education institutions. Them multifunctional with adequate computers. Them meaning we take count for exam, not to paper. You need to write na paper anymore. You go inside the examination, the multifunctional suite. You do examination online. We get multiple choice questions. We get short answer questions. You multiple choice question, we get random question bank. So question one to me and question one to Uda Sidonia, I mean not to the same. So if I want to
copy now,
if I want confess if now the wrong thing we talk about. So then they now one way down the for address them. You click submit, there's a marking scheme on the back end, immediately the grades are there. Short answer question, we all know about artificial intelligence. We train other countries, they train AI on the marking scheme for the short answer question.
Wonderful.
You click submit, the AI they mark, then the head of department can go in now and do quality check for make sure say the AI gets them right. So for minimize that, and this is something we don't pilots na IPAM. The platform was developed by a lecturer on IPAM. The students and don't embrace them, and we they work now with the institutions and the partners them for see how we can scale that.
And this is not a clap for. I see. But man has the well back say, hey, so no go for the able for the spy again.
Well, surprisingly, where I go, IPAM, where they show me this examination platform. I mean, they think say the students are not going to embrace them. The students embrace them past the administrators themselves. And then they tell me, say, Madam Minister, when we will get this now at other universities, that we pay themselves benefits from this.
Wonderful.
You also ask about fake degrees.
Yes, quickly, Minister.
Fake yes. Degrees. So we know the Dominion era. Mina being lecturer, and we all go do verification. We all go submit with degree qualifications them for lady institutions them verify say we degree they're authentic. Since then, nothing no happen to the best of my knowledge. Or nothing, sometimes things and they happen slowly behind the scenes. But when I assume office, I been don't reach out and write to the Tertiary Education Commission say, let we go back and revisit that exercise day. Because when we do that, then people ain't go no say the one day we choose for go down that path, they no say we know they tolerate dandy within we higher education institutions because now they are the finishing house for young people that we get for take up leadership positions in the future. We cannot afford for entertain anything of that nature they because the wrong message we send.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister. Make a council WAEC. The grand conspiracy, I go back to him. WAEC was named in the grand conspiracy. And I think say recently we no less a person than His Excellency the President self call out say WAEC self for play a role. We talk about internal control, we talk about digitization now. He's all waiting our WAEC in your observation on this issue of the threats to education integrity in us alone and waiting WAEC they do as well for address that. You get 3 minutes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Minister, and we tell thank you all the previous speakers there now. I know say now this country, the moment we talk about exam malpractice, now WAEC everybody, but we tell the general public now in your role for play.
Of course, Mr. Ben Calfella don't make some points them way I want clarify again. But one thing we are the assure the public, WAEC will get what we call integrity. And that integrity they we still they maintain them during the conduct of the examination. The one the way they go to the field, they know. Because you they go to the field outside there, who they conduct exam, and the one where they just sit down in the office waiting and they tell them a different with waiting you they see in the field. So we know say examination malpractice now a threat not only to the reputation, not only to the image of WAEC, but even to the development of this country. So therefore, WAEC not they condone that. Mr. Ben Kelfala make comment on case na Aberdeen, we happened in 2018 or 2019. Of course, we self will get measures. The moment a center don't begin play examination malpractice, we they know even if we not go to that center there, we'll get what we call measures they will determine for say this center don't begin play certain havoc and we they concentrate on that center there where the measures they you know they know. So we get a communique for ensure transparency in the examination, wherein the anti-corruption is a signatory, the Ministry of Education, SLTU, CPSS, now a communique, and we know they move none of the confidential material and they without security escorts. So therefore, when you get that intelligence, of course, we as the minister, they say, we bill will begin 1984, we then they try for the vice now and let them pass them. We will not get any power for enter na somebody in house and do any raid. So therefore, we get the security forces then we get the law enforcement agency then. We they communicate their intelligence there to either the CID, the police, and the anti-corruption. So therefore, we communicate, and indeed, the radar host day, of course, a staff na WAEC be involved. So law make and clear. Then from that next day, if they meet that staff day, in no one day appear again na WAEC because we know they condone that. So we get another issue again, where I want to clarify now, where we self-report 2024 marking, where we get an examiner will be the copy direct from the marking scheme. An examiner, a teacher, a lecturer back for that matter. We take them, we report to anti-corruption. We know they condone examination malpractice, and indeed they indict them, and now I know say it is served in prison sentence. So we do them. Then again, he make mention of this NPSC who get the saga. An examiner again, who they talk about. NPSC na traditional marking. What you call traditional marking? You as the examiner. So let clarify, examiner they na teachers them, not to even WAEC they mark the paper. Now the teachers them from various schools with the
When they pay them well, with the mark.
With the contract then teachers then they for let them mark them papers.
But when they pay them separate from the normal salary.
Would they pay them extra for that service day?
Okay.
So the teacher would they give the question, the script of the candidates them, then go mark them, count them. Then this teacher, what he do, as the commissioner explained, he begin go knock then school and the way they get in paper them.
Some man get
Talk
confidence.
to the headmaster then they. So and indeed we still get people that we get integrity. Then call you and say, hey, so examiner, oh na give na paper. Now you don't begin trade with them paper then they will trace the examiner, we report the matter na CID, then catch the examiner with the one way higher for they go to their school and the CID be investigate the matter up to a point where then transfer to anti-corruption. The commissioner they be a witness that. Now we they take the matter then they. So another stuff again in 2018.
Big points why will you address. How paper can leak?
Yeah, the leakage of question paper, that an assumption where me and you two, what we sit on I get. Because we know waiting the social law talk. Law come in. Law come in. We get various forms of examination malpractice. we get various forms of examination malpractice. Let me explain. Not to how
respond. Go ahead, sir.
una they think about leakage. Now, so we the exam officers they think about leakage.
So explain to me now.
Leakage now when the paper come on, it they out to the public before WAEC they release and in custody. That we call leakage. We get what we call foreknowledge. Wherein when we don't distribute them paper there, the time for conduct examination don't come, we release the code, they open, they begin snap them, send on our social media, then they not to leakage, now foreknowledge. Where it don't come on our own custody. So that's any examining body, they tell you say, leakage and foreknowledge is different. Of course, we know everything, we self in at the social media.
But wait. Sorry, sir. I ask a very specific question. How paper can leak?
Now the question I
You or you want to say paper no want the leak?
Me no experience in this with age. Oh.
All right, so now allow finish. Land. Hey, okay. Now let's settle down.
A lot of things then they wait and they send out. Wait and they send out before the exams. Me self get phone. I they see them till then they 1 year, they very recently, where he send mathematics to me. He say in Peking and say, na mathematics paper, this we don't leak. Now that I tell her, say, Mr. Principal, Lord, we wait the morning till we open the paper. Myself, we don't get the questions at all. So open the paper because me be busy in the morning for it. Now in first call back say, hey, say Mr. Kamara, that's in a fake. He say not to waiting there at the paper. Right. So these are some of the problems, the way we they call leakage.
All right. So, I want to cancel the student name. Low cancel Madam Mary Julius, who they represent the school picking them. Now the PRO for Children's Forum Network. May you don't listen to all the adults and don't talk within this in the conspiracy way commissioner outlined. It says school picking themselves today. Although you hear some of the teacher themselves don't say they know work hard, then they clap with and give reason for corruption. Because they be okay like for tell the story, say somebody do video, then send them to her. We say, President Bio back, you say back cannot be spy when we go school. Let allow self spy. The pa is just petrified. Now, like what I talk to just no say way somebody they justify corruption for me, skin the call, especially from the perspective of a teacher. Because me, I know how my mama raised me, I know how my papa raised me when it comes to learning the day. So President Bio, they always talk about this issue. You know, he understands say parents go combat. I do go meet teacher being teacher. The post way for me the symbol of integrity. Principal, he say no, law arrange, I give you small thing, give me the paper, you go through. Then they so extraordinary to me. So what's in a picking the whole inside this, and what's in a young comments on this conversation with you so far. They will end with society. They will cancel now. Go ahead, Mary.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mary Julius, and just a correction. I am no longer the Deputy Public Relations Officer for the Children's Forum Network, but I am now the contesting candidate for the National President of the Children's Forum.
I stand corrected.
So for me, education, now knowledge plus skills plus values them. Where we get in this the education, where we forget. And the topic, how do we address the threats to quality education in Sierra Leone? But before I go first to the topic, would that we think say we for blame for examination malpractice in alone? Now, is it the schools? Is it the teachers? Are we the people to be blamed? Is it the civil society? Is it WAEC? Well, that's which I don't know. I want to let you know for Senior Salon also we get 3 types of schools then. We get one, the multi-million-dollar schools where they pay almost million per term. We're not even the part of the system itself, the educational system. Then they take we was public exams them. And then we also get the private schools them where people people say expect to say if I post me behind this school also, me picking it for past exam because of the kind of amount of school fees where are they pay for this me picking also. And also we get the government schools them where some people like you think for saying that the less privileged schools them where some of we they attend. So back, so who is to be blamed? Are the schools them? Are the ministry will change with syllabus inside just something like a year and then and then the next year? So the ministry will change with syllabus them from the old system, come to the new system, talk for say, we need for do if you didn't ask, you need to do mathematics. And then when we go SST, then call the curriculum back and say we need for return back to the old curriculum. And when small people are not be able to comprehend with that new system, then they whether the cow is for the education as a whole. And also, is this with teachers them where they need to pay salaries at on time where they say okay me picking the lad just get a one lesson, one private lesson, all I focus on this private school because I pay me beaucoup money. But let me just be just. Is it still the kind of salary where they pay with teachers them? And then also and then also, is it why social workers them the one where you're gonna schools them during examination and time they talk for say if you not give me 200,000 for maths need to work my ass or why securities them where they share us where they link us with because this year also English paper a leak and we not sit exam say around 4 o'clock. Now the beginning has me because most of the exam we go for something like 2 hours exam. We not exam say 4 o'clock up to 7 o'clock before we start for English examination. And then also I want to talk about we just talk about how to address threats to equality. I also got for learn for say picking them where they attend where
Allow listen, please. Yes.
children with disability, especially children with visually impaired, then picking they not get class GSS level. So you think that equality for them picking and they were disabled? Yes, Mr. Minister, I will rephrase it again. You think say it is just an equality for picking them where visually impaired, where just they say if you see MPSC vocational skills that they go land, they don't get for go again SS and GSS. You think so that equality for picking them as we address the equality of education towards children, all children in Sierra Leone? Because you think say it's just for like picking where okay go be doctor. What if then picking them also want to be doctors and they also get bigger dreams apart from vocational skills then? And then also you think so now we parents that we for blame? We parents that we go do anything when I know for say most of the people in our Sido when our parents them you think say the minister Siba not go do anything so far, even send picking abroad for making go study or even do any kind of thing for making picking get good education. You think so if they ask you as parents say say you as parents if you give so money for you picking start picking go pass, you think say parents not go you think say parents are not go do that for them picking them? Yes. And then also we dey talk about the digital world. We know for say parents them right now with schools them right now instead of them say buy textbook we say na for buy phone for your pikin because we don't know for say phone na the all thing they right now. And then also the phone gets an advantage also a greater disadvantage so picking them because parents they monitor them picking them again and all that stuff them. And then also with all the heads of big people for education business area so who does now so for take accountability for examination malpractice na salon? Who does we want for all my so that's my question. I'll leave it to you, sir.
Thank you very much. May Julius contesting for the presidency of Children's Forum Network. As I really glad we're there, and I'm glad for the perspective the way you don't bring up. But since you ask a direct question as a parent, if somebody go ask me, say, la, pay money for let me picking pass over my dead body. Over my dead body. I not sabi for bring that conversation into me, papa. From where they go up. I not crazy self for go tell me, papa. My papa, people they know I be the teach na independence for many years. And the thought of that day for counts and say, they go ask me, papa, say, well, papa, for let me say pass, all man they do, he go tell me, say, me not to all man. Now make a day so today. Any parents will they join hand for pay for them picking cheats. That parent they not to the picky leg, now the picky they destroy. Minister, before we come to Alfonso Manley, he asked a very direct question. Maybe you want to clarify on people with disabilities, kids who are visually impaired, when they send them forcefully out of the formal school system directly into tech voc.
You know, there are quite a lot of assumptions. So, before I answer that, they go back to the curriculum. Why academia? And they go attest to which they say. The WAEC rules say when you introduce a new curriculum, it will take 3 years before you assess them picking on that curriculum. This exam will take, we get 2 pathways. We get the one pathway when I be the new curriculum, where again, I just tell you, say, it will take 3 years before you take the exam. So the idea that we change the curriculum inside 1 year, it's not accurate. The second is the fact that we really say some school and don't do that. It is on that basis for save a crisis. We went back to WAEC and make a case that we need for bring back the old curriculum and let the 2 pathways then go together. That's why we don't get a crisis.
So each school they choose.
Each school they choose. So if they don't misinform the students, they still get now the opportunity for just say to the student, until we don't go back to the old curriculum, continue for work with the old curriculum. So we get that facility there for 2 years. This year now it will be the end of that facility there. So it is not right. You know, the system not perfect. But I can tell you one thing. I don't think that this business for long. I sometimes I can shame myself for see how long I don't go. Because if I talk almost how long I don't think that the business, some people already at this stage they experience a big past them. So anything will come now this system. I can't tell you say I go get 100% to, but I go sit down with my team now the ministry. We find solution. We look at various options. We approach people, and we are not going to understand how much down they go. Sometimes and then the last time we get problem with cars. Now the Nigerians they now go talk to. And me and do and they all behind the scenes. I know they talk boku. And they try for us make sure say this system not ever get any problem. We just introduce life practicals after 7 years of absence. We not tell you say perfect too, but we spend over $500,000 for make sure say that exam they happen. We get 110,000 students then we take science subjects and we take practicals this year. There's no crisis. We get to look at the results and we go learn from that. But accurate. This other thing about
Visually impaired.
visually impaired. Let me tell you one interesting thing. 2 years ago, a group of visually impaired students came to me. Now, 3 years ago, because the new education officer not be quiet. Then come meet me and complain, say, for the last 3 years, they know they pass exam for good university. This is an academic subject. They need to pass. So I instructed the then chief education officer. I say, follow sit down with them PKR, we look waiting at them problem be. What we find out was that the school they not be the tell we say the beginner get them blind. So what did happen? We they submit the beginner like normal beginner. Then when they go, then go you go find out say the beginner blind. Then even they submit cast marks for beginner where they can't if you blind, you visually impaired, you cannot do maths. Then we test one new method for do maths for 1 year. But we get marks for people that we get marks for people that we go do maths. So we review the system there and then. To be honest, WAEC was very collaborative in that process. We put what we call reasonable adjustments for them people we visually impaired. You know what happened? Then begin pass. Then come back to me. They can't tell me. I meet then one other thing na one hotel na beach where we get on inclusive education. Then after we thank you for who listen to them and we respond to them. So this idea about pushing them down the vocational line, I am not aware of it. If that is the case, anybody who is visually impaired in that situation, please come back to me. Let we have no say now this they happen at the system and let we try for fix them. But as far as I am aware, I am not aware of that. And last but
and also the policy. There's no policy by this government to do that.
And last but by no means the least, since you talk about technical and vocational education, we ministry now, we don't get problem with technical and vocational education. You know, Alfonso, I consider the watch the clip there. You know, so you talk about the fact for abolish Becker because the whole idea behind the 6334 was that they get to the senior secondary school, they get two pathways: general academic and then the vocational.
Technical, yeah.
And you say the technical not happen. Let me give you confirmation. See, we work with MasterCard, and we bring them back with a vengeance, with a pilot and attend schools, and with a try for getting money. As soon as they announce that, they go come back to the public and tell the public, wallahi, whatever happened with the feds, this one, when we talk about the do and the prover.
Thank you very much, sir. Madam Minister, I want to add one sentence there, and then we come to Alfonso.
I just want to add to the TVET component.
No, fine.
So we get the issue with the TVET tutors in our schools, TSC, whether or not they're for the TSC or not. We don't create now under we regulatory agency, NCTVE, a department for teacher recruitment and management. So they get signed for monitor them and for giving the support. Thank you.
And the one more thing where I would just say now that teachers, then payment and they come on time. You can get a conversation about how much they pay them. But under President Bill, public sector workers are paid on time. So, Madam President, I just want to make sure say we can make the claims they make, but we can make sure say then claim them we therefore make sure say like the minister say we clarify. With the Council of Civil Society, they will come back to now, they will come interact more with the audience. Alfonso will get comments on most of the things they were doing now. So instead of the 3 minutes, we'll give 5 minutes. So go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I want to thank the Ministry of Civic Education for this very, very important town hall meeting because it's really, really important. Education, I go take you from one stage to another stage, and that pathway continuum, you will see prosperity. Now, me want focus because I don't do a lot of discussion on education, and I believe say the states they listen. Me want focus waiting they cause this malpractice and no solution will get so it will stop. Now, majority of the picking they will prepare for go sit exam, then they go to that examination hall, they half aid empty. They don't know what's in go right. And that is the biggest challenge we must solve. How? In a school system, you have what is called education, measurement, and evaluation. That's one. Two, in the school system, you have what is called assessment. And in the school system, we also get what it take for the one the way they teach the picking them for ensuring say A, they are properly trained, they are okay with the curriculum, they are okay with the syllabus, then get scheme of work, then they prepare lesson notes, then get lesson plan for deliver the lesson, and they are well motivated. Let's start now the first one. When them picking don't go from one, I want left the primary first. When the teacher give the picking assignments for gonna host, where they can submit the assignments. If you submit the assignment with 50 loan, you don't get 60 straight. And the reality at the top, when you submit the assignment with 100 loan, you don't get 70 straight. Now this speaking a day per JSS1, it depends GSS 2, it depends on GSS 3. And the school now they get a system for assessment picking there. In assessment, we get two types. We get the formative assessment when that normal test work in they give them for say this topic what I don't teach you, and they assess you and see how they perform. And this type of assessment, what they give them test, we get test retest method, we get the parallel method, we get the split half method, we get the Kutzal Richardson method for assess them, for understanding that they take in. When we don't miss that one day, we allow the picking them for go attempt exam. You don't know how, if you understand what you don't teach them, you don't assess them for no state, then they above the examination, then go teach, then go there. When the picking reach at the hall, the only thing then they look for now for access the network of examination malpractice people the way they A, MBSSC, 2, security apparatus, 3, WAEC, number 4. I know they call teacher, they require say teacher, then they all on the MBSSC. Now they creature them, now they employ them for teach them picking there. So MBSSC, because they has the responsibility. Now you get the Teaching Service Commission. Me go tell you say the TSC, as civil society, they monitor education. From the appointment of, yes, Conrad do well there. Because at a time will be so challenging for such standard, do very well. But from where land scanning, the aspects where Teaching Service Commission not even that kind of resources they get for support Teaching Service Commission, therefore don't do pass with so because the very first time I experienced and trained all class 1 teacher, class 1, class 2 teacher, no left because of the very fact that President Bill, the UN Secretary get 5 champions of education. And it choose as foundational learning. So this malpractice, let we make town hall meeting, we make all kind meeting. If they not teach them picking they are, they assess them. Don't we ensure say before they go sit, we say, okay, you prepare well, go sit exam. It always go to get malpractice. That's number 1. Number 2, when teacher they teach, first of all, I'm glad the number 1 thing when they call for the school heads them. You can get some principal them where they sit on the office for morning. Say school common, you know, they come inside the office, and then they sit down. The only thing you see, they see them where parents come for candle admission. You do admission from term 1 to term 3. Every day, then they do admission at school. Every day, them principal them, they do admission. Now, what's not the rule? If you don't get the curriculum, first of all, are the bigger documents, when are the ministry they design that curriculum? So now this area and now this area and this area for teach. Inside that curriculum, there, each subject they go to they call syllabus. That syllabus there, the teacher for prepare what they call scheme of work. Week 1, now this our achieve. Week 2, now this our achieve. Week 3, now that scheme of work, they submit it to the head of the department, where they can go to the principal. So when the principal then in office, they go not say week 1, pangeography, now this is for cover. Week 2, pangeography, now this. So if they call you week 5, they say, who are you there now? They look your scheme of work. Wait till you tell I say, now this I say, no, but this is scheme of work we prepare. This way they tell me so week 5. Now week 2 if I don't do them. What's not the issue? We discuss to move them. But the beginning they go attempt examination half empty. Then na NPSC, na Beke, na WAS because of the laziness where the teacher, and also all teachers, so most of the teacher them now for pay and pass, pay and pass, pay and pass. Lastly, who's our ministry their own kind side? Minister Conrad do very well with one thing I will always applaud them for the sector. We always make the complaint for English language. But he always tell and say, Minister, anything they do it carry it, we're not in the education sector plan. Don't know for let them put money for its sustainability and continuity is difficult. Then go give that first money for introduce the program. It gets a whole conference for English language. Maybe I go here and understand that conference day. What you want to they mark the paper, bring out. If me sit down before President Bia for say one of the solutions to this education business, now this kind of conference for address English language, because it's a compulsory subject, irrespective of the scheme where they for making it to the university, you get for pass English. The ministry also, they get what they call squams, where for monitor school. Inside the school system, you get board of governors for secondary school. One of the most powerful committee, now the visitation committee. When the visitation committee go to school, they look at teacher attendance, they look at scheme of work, they look at the register, they look at how they run the entire school. The minister now they get that information there. for take decision. The SQA they went at them board and they send them reports and they go give the minister for say, and he was. Then they try, but when it comes to this, now they lack, now they make progress. Then immediately they get that report say. So there is a whole gap between the board and the ministry administration. And when they look at the power of the board so gets power, but the same work with the board for they do, the ministry they do. So the principal then they regard the board. When the ministry, when the school get issue, they call direct the DD, you say, Alpha, now this problem I get. And then they call him board chairman, and the board responsible for the implementation of policies. So they get that gap. So me, for solve malpractice, teach the picking the well, assess them well. When you assess them well, you go know say this picking is prepare for write this exam or not. Other than that, it let you do awareness, say left malpractice, then go put in a court, it no go stop because the picking and they go half 8 empty now the examination. Now that aspect they will for work on for ensure say teacher teaching well, motivate teacher for doing job very well. NASIT, the last one, try NASIT. One of the biggest contributors to NASIT, now teacher them. The current act not permits NASIT for bill quarter for teacher them, but you can go and change and not to stone. Now law, they go one change constitution. So you can get the document for say when you don't get placed like a Falaba, Koinadugu, then remote salary teacher they give for Sidom. Bill 2 women para, 3 women para, take them to them benefits. When that teacher don't get quarter, it they teach you at all. You know, so for again going to malpractice for begin fair money for buy cement or billows. When teacher and buy freezer, they will get scheme for the winner higher purchase. Who's teacher will put 23 million buy freezer? But then get outside they will make undertake. He said this teacher will pay for this freezer 200,000 for month, 200,000. So you go get freezer. So on that note, this malpractice, me as CSO, where this education set to understand them very well. And I do my masters now in education. Now, Mr. Me don't make I go do and go sit down for talk. Then some I not read education. So I go read and now so when we say the talk, I get authority for talk for solve the problem. So dear
Alfonso Manley, thank you very much, my brother. Like I say, it's a bit the sector. I work in the civil society, and I make the government. By the way, I just say not to so this country in the we president you don't make so they can sit down so together. ACC commissioner, principal, minister, civil society, WAEC. For more they go up na yeah, not been the zoo. Not so. Eh? For little can then talk to we all my talk to we I want we talk to who young person fire we teacher fire we all will clap will laugh. This is a new culture of democracy we will proud of nas alone we want continue for maintain. The only way this they succeed now we will treat her with respect and we respect each other. We get frank, tough conversation, but everybody learn from each other. Me said I learn a lot from all man today. Now I want to turn for continue the same speed. Yeah, the simple rule they can follow. Who give you the mic at the time you talk for 1 minute. At exactly 1 minute, I pull the mic now you are. So we allow the first round at the try for take up to 10 to 12 people. Okay? So I will let other one talk, you put up your hand. When I point, you talk. Okay? So we take 10. This first one first. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Yellow is white boy, they give you number 4. Number 5, the gentleman with the cap. Okay? Lord with 5. The next 5 with the cancel. Lord 2. So I'm not going to forget the one that we get the number there. Remember on the number there. Lord go. Una please take notes. So we'll comment and respond after. Yeah?
Yeah. My name na Mahmoud Sila iWatch online. My question will go to the Minister of Higher Education. He talked about digital platform. He said digital platform, they address the exam malpractice. Now, the question, Nayana, is that if we are moving to digital platform or the technology, the mind behind the technology or the digital platform we are going to use, how do we control these people who are going to be behind the digital platform?
All right. Thank you, sir. Number 2, Pakamara.
Mohammed Kamara, the Watch and the Humanity newspaper, SLTU. We in the journalism, we got ethics and media law. You from what you talk, you want to say SLTU, and you professional get ethics for follow. Principal, sir, chairman. Academy teacher will say better to be than to sin. But what you talk now, you feel for when I say human behavior unpredictable, knock over the principles, accept what the commissioner says. Yes, indeed, the principles that participate in body and corruption in this country. I thank you.
Thank you very much. Truth Media next.
Hello, good afternoon. My name is David Aspen Solomon. I report for Truth Media. My question is go for WAEC. So WAEC, it wouldn't be a coincidence that the president sent him up before the country in Makeni for the second time and talk say yes, he gave evidence say WAEC, Kumgarem, they involved in malpractice. I want for just ask Kuna say what they do because the president been say you get evidence is the way tie down to Danley. What una they do for see that say una we probably name una get Danley una don't already get no matter what una say before we president not talk not believe una we self not believe una waiting at the way forward for see that say next year examination una go say paper leak again una go say picking and the pace invigilators for money. Thank you.
Thank you very much. White boy in the next 1 minute.
Mr. Minister, I'm a white boy, I'm a citizen. I want to talk to the teachers there. Some teachers there, they teach to school where the pikin and kid don't in a classroom. They wait for the teachers. And the teacher can left the school and go teach other school. Waiting the minister they do towards that picking that teachers there.
Thank you, white boy. Number 4, the man with the cap.
Good afternoon, everybody. Me, your name is Charles Mansari. The Minister of Information actually say we clap now with the SLTU minister. Boss be the making points because say we dey try for support corruption, but that's not the case. As we all London house will clap because of he make that particular point out of 5 say corruption in this country in terms of education, and because of one of the things and the way the teachers they know they get enough salary, and that's for say yes because majority carries the vote. 1, 2, 3, 4 will actually disagree. But my question is to the minister, Mr. Saki. What do you think? Do you not think that if we get increase and the teacher salary, that's going to reduce corruption? Because we get country like Denmark, Uzbekistan, or I don't know the country name, we for say thank you. We before say teachers they get enough salary, but they get low corruption in terms of education. So what when I do towards the teacher salary when it's care for increasing or waiting?
Whose school did you go, sir?
I am not in school.
Whose institution?
From Rise Radio.
Rise Radio. Thank you. All right, so come on this side now. Play the hand and go up, so we don't get 5. We'll do the next 5 and then we'll come back to the panel. I just want to get more and more voices. So we will start with the 2 people in front here from the media. 1, 2. Number 3, the gentleman. You get representative at the panel, so it will talk for you. So we get 1, 2. Philippa, I don't see her. Number 3, the lady. I want more women. Number 4, the other lady with the wig over the under. And then number 5, the person where you hand the last behind with the glasses. Okay? So let's try them one in the first.
Ibrahim Sarasisi, Voice of Salon Radio. Let's go back to the Minister of Education, Mr. Conrad. Taking a look at we don't visit over 5 schools in Africa. First, the teachers do not get lesson notes, do not get register. And when you look at them, Nakisi in general, my colleagues then they will visit the schools. So waiting una they do with una quality assurance officers them for visit 10 schools then they where then teachers they go, no get register, no get lesson notes, and even though we go they don't know the teach to begin them. Another question back to you. There are schools them in Freetown where then they take more picking them for take worse. But from JSS to SSS, school picking another. I'll give you evidence after, yeah. Yeah. So that one idea. Go now to the teacher, the SLTU. I taught for good 10 years in secondary school. I know the system. First, we've been getting what they call the teacher code of conduct. When I was in school, when I was teaching by then. The teacher code of conduct, it gets a lot of things that we talk about bribery, accept, we teacher accept them. Waiting on the teachers they don't do for able curtail the system they are between una self way the corruption system they play.
Okay. The code of
Thank
conduct now also. Thank you very much.
Okay. Of course, when I Samsung Salon Network. I want to talk to the minister. Say, they might be don't teach for 40 years and never corrupt, but at the same time, you they fail to realize the dynamics of the world. Then the woman papa them they just back to say, like just try for feed me picking them. But now you can see say we get me where this woman a blogger. I not get my left blogging for go teach because salary you know able buy this phone for me when I up to 10 to 15 million. Then the mama and papa don't get phone. They mean they just sell potato leaf, make for the market and sell for feed we. Things them been very minimal. Transportation and them they get teachers and lift. But now nobody get teacher lift. You they pay for yourself and go. Okay. So now I come to the implementation of technology for minimize examination malpractice. Now we forget say why I get technology, we're very advanced, but there is still malpractice. If we go to NRA, they get the ASICODA system. But you go see say corruption still there na NRA. So for let them bring the technology, not get for I mean that kind of way reduce the malpractice. It just get for do with the humans, right? Getting the conscience say I for do the right thing. Most times I can talk say Sierra Leoneans, we don't normalize the bad things then we don't just take and say it's just normal for us to do something we wrong in the society. This get for do it. I mean, we the citizen them, we girls get for get that so much civic education in the kids for we for build a better society.
Thank you. Number 3, next round. I'll respond, of course, but yeah.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Emmanuel Luque. I come out from the Human Capital Development Consortium. Now, so we Minister of Education, the two, with 22% where we don't dedicate to the ministry. How many percent they go directly to the teachers and when are the frontline workers? Because we believe, say, government can bring out the policy of the free education, but for let the education get that quality, now the one that we in at the field where they work directly. So how many percent per that 22% where we don't give with teachers and directly, where go make whether not salary or whether not benefits where they give in terms of motivation, how many percent directly will they give with frontline workers? God bless you.
Thank you very much. The lady here, yes. And then the next two after that. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Your name na Admire Toure. My question to go for the board na always Admire. So my question is, if a student engages in malpractice because of maybe pressure from parents, teachers, and society, so that we go succeed, how una go address the responsibility and rights of we the picking them? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The lady with the a blonde hair, Dandy, right? I'm a bit color challenged. Yes.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Vika Nesise, and I dey online as Queen Sufi, and I dey post everything where they add positive impact to my country. And then my own first question is, most time we parents then can tell we say, oh, back then we your education system is highly supporting spy. I mean, waiting change from the system back then to all we get right now because the world is advanced. So why we go back instead of we improve more on how for totally dismiss malpractice and other things the way they bring threat to quality education. So we're struggling about sorting all of this out. And then another thing is what do we all dey do for actually tackle these causes of malpractice and also other things them where they bring can threat to quality education? And I be actually take part of IPAM exams, and actually the system we commendable. Just that we need for add more in ensuring say and bring out what we the expect, because that day we will get some of trouble with the system going off, coming on. So there's more to do, but that's a good one. So to the other aspects, what will they do for tackle all of this? Thank you.
Thank you so much. The final question, the lady with the glasses at the back, and then we'll come. We'll see how we do, and then maybe we'll do another round.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. This question is going for the Anti-Corruption Commissioner. Yes, sir. So when you were talking, you stated that anti-corruption is not responsible to look into these malpractices going around schools during examination. For me, what I believe the roles and responsibility of anti-corruption is to look into these things and know how to implement this embezzlement of all, because that is misuse of funding. Imagine now a parent paying a teacher to get access to these things. Secondly, to WAEC, how do you justify that? You know, when the question came, you don't know how where paper they leak. That is not, you don't even justify. Papers they come on before you even sit them. Oh, sit them back on the field and so pass. But imagine say paper don't come on. I forgot sit down Wednesday, come out Tuesday. They don't study everything. I go sit them back and fail. That is not justified, because I don't spy. You understand? I don't study. I don't spy. Say this question they come. I go see her answer them. But on a film me back padande. And the last question they go to Madam Wuri for the digital thing we want for implement. That is fine, because I actually do am now IPAM for ICT. I sit am online. But you know the disadvantage? I will get two phones. The one phone they provide the answer for me, the other phone I use them for seats. So you cannot call that particular implementation credible, because some of us are with many machines. And they use the computer for seats. I take the phone. I go to IF or go to implement the answers them. So look into that and know how to increase teacher salary for all of these arguments for laying down.
All right. Excellent. Now this make we organize this town hall. So all these issues will come out. And we as a society go see the kind of society where they can build. And I will all go solve this problem. Una na the keynote speakers are the gonna 3 minutes for respond. And then I will give the other panelists in 2 minutes for respond. Okay? So who that one go first? 3 minutes each. You want to start? All right. You can use less if you want to be generous, so we can get one.
Thank you very much. I'll start with, I think all the questions I get for do the proposed examination platform. So all the one that we ask that question, Mr. Silla asked about the people in behind the platform, how they ensure say they are not compromised. We just have to ensure so we develop a framework where you get clearly defined roles and responsibilities. You get a platform where different people can get different levels of access. So if there's any breach, you know they're responsible. And this is not of us in a novel to you. It's tried and tested in other countries. So we even learn from their own experience. So we're not reinventing the wheel.
Including for stop the 2 phones.
Yes, all day. We go work with regulatory agency. I believe I see somebody from the Sexual Education Commission inside the room. Okay, TC is represented, NCTV is represented. So we go work with the two regulatory agencies then in developing that framework the way we all understand, we own and then implement. And then somebody, the lady with the gray Brazilian, talk about the platform, now IPAM, and then you say it can get glitch. Then we get for expert to technology. Some things are out of our control. And we anticipate when we start something new, there's bound to be teething problems. But we learn from them and use the lessons learned for scale them up. And to the last speaker, we also talk about exams, IPAM, ICT. To be honest with you, I'm disappointed because you're publicly accepting that you engage in malpractice. So this is the point I made earlier about it's becoming the norm, not a thing where we for publicly talk about. Somebody make the statement. All right, okay. I know we're all passionate about the topic. Somebody make the comment, say malpractice, goal where you engage in malpractice, it leads to success. Malpractice is not success. I can tell me students in a commerce for deter them. If I know see you engage in malpractice, I like you become the best doctor tomorrow. When I see you, the first thing I remember now for see you engage in malpractice. Now the first thing now before I think of anything else. So yes, I'm glad so you bring up say denting and they can happen. So we go put measures in place for say nobody no go examination, you're not going to with phone safe. So now the system will they build not online, not by your phone you do your exam. Your phone not secure. Now multifunctional ICT spaces them computers where you don't vet. So you know they're able to get access to the internet for answer question. Now that system they with the try for bill. Even now when you take exam, you're going with phone and foreign material. You go with phone and foreign material, now automatic malpractice Randy. So we go take all that into consideration and develop a system where we will all be proud of.
Thank you very much. Minister Conrad, you get quite a few comments and questions, so go for it.
Okay, let me start off with white boy first. He said teacher then they work now to school there. We are aware that be they happen. And so we developed a new project called Widea, we now for use tablets, then for make the teacher then do the registration. Then they use them fingerprints for make them do that registration day. And then tablets, then they get GPS coordinates. We mean to say, if you do that day outside of the school, then go see whose side you do that day. It will then provide a dashboard for the TSC, the ministry, and myself for able to see how teacher then they attend that school. If you absent for like 6 terms consecutively, we don't set up a panel where the union self depend, we're going to say we take care of the payroll. So that's using a digital solution to address that particular problem day. And it means to say you not get human beings that we go where you go pay money and then go left you. The second thing, somebody talk about increase in salary. During the time where this government don't in power, for any teacher where they between scale 6 and under, then don't increase salary by 80%. For the one where they above scale 6, then don't increase salary by 75%. I also know that the Wages and Compensation Commission don't engage the union, and the person where they really chair and they not be the former secretary general of the union. I don't see who that get for facts for the union or for teacher them better than that person. But I also hear it today, that today no my you say they copy me inside one letter. I don't want to talk about that letter day, but they say they copy me, so not me you write to the TSC. But I already say you copy me into it. The second one, they say you visit 5 schools, then get less, they know they do lexi notes, they know they do register, then quality assurance, waiting happen to the quality assurance officers. 2 things. Firstly, we just give quality assurance officers there motorbike, we mean to say we give them fuel back. So that thing with them they can't tell we say, oh, we not get bikes, we not get fuel, we don't give all man. You go see, if you go to my Facebook, you go see where we don't go hand down over. But in addition to that, there is something new where we do now. We leadership group, the senior management group, the new quality assurance director. They present a monthly report where they tell you on every quality assurance officer where they operate now with system. Almost school and visit, almost school and not visit yet. The challenges that we come out of the school and so we as a leadership team were able to respond to that. So this is a new approach that we don't take, we don't capacitate them, but in addition to that, we monitor them now going forward. The other thing where somebody mentioned is say in the lower levels, picking within at the lower level, then smaller than the one that within at the worst class. We're aware of that. We don't try to tackle this problem. Now that make we get the principal that was signed the undertaking recently. But even that undertaking, it come with some significant problem. One of the problems the way it occur with, because we say there is a maximum of 2% absence will go accept. People then go inside the exam, they write the names of the candidates, now the script, and then there is nothing in that script. You know the disadvantage of that? If the candidates not come, now the exam, we know the counter go they look at performance. The fact that the candidate can inside the exam, they write in name, that candidate be there inside the exam. We mean to say that candidate fail. So when the results come out this time round, una go see say now at what level if it go not depress we performance rate. So that is the worst type of crime you can commit. Waiting, I think sometimes we school leaders they don't understand, and constantly I talk to them, but they don't understand. The technology what they use is so advanced. If you get even ChatGPT, you put a document inside, you go able to know whether the same the handwriting are the same. So the ability for make we catch you when you do that kind of nonsense, it's very easy. And I don't go one for talk self, who side we they go with the hand. But with the weights. The next one at the go pan is this one about the teacher code, conduct, and what should they do. I just talk about the WIAC Act. The WIAC Act, what they come with? It come with 3 levels of system. What did happen before the exam? So when they put you cast and all that, and what did happen during the exam if paper leak and waiting? And what did happen after the exam? This is a way somebody then go try for change marks and all that. All of that under the WIAC bill they address. But in addition to that, as a town I just know, just before this meeting, I get leadership meeting with my leadership team. We they go through the TSC Act. And what I don't ask them for do, now for make sure say that act they replicate what in the Basic Education Act will pass 2023. But in addition, it also aligned with the WIAC Act. So we they tighten up the school for the action they will be able to take, so the law will able to support you. Then talk about the implementation of technology. Before I left the TSC, we introduced the licensure. I remember we go Ghana, we go look at their own system. But their own system, when they do the exam, now lecturer and they go mark the paper. Me, I don't want lecturer and they mark the paper. Because the reason why we introduce the licensure now, because we will not be too satisfied with the quality of the people that will come out from the universities. So what we do now, Salon, different from Ghana, we make a computer-based assessment. Like what me colleague they tell you say they happen at IPAM. So we get a question bank of about 10,000 questions. When you go take the exam, we only take the exam now, we only have our own computer or tablet. The questions that we only get is different. So if you spy for me, not even ask, not even question you answer. And when you click the button, when you submit, you get the results immediately. So this is not how we can use technology to address the problem. I understand say that schools in Nigeria don't begin to try for use computer-based assessment for even when they take WIAC exams. Right. And this year, to be honest with you, with a little bit of resources, we go begin to small, we go use that. Anything will happen, we go one stage ahead. We go and we will be the most digitized examination system as possible with the resources that we get.
Thank you, Minister.
Just one other thing, because I think this is something they count quite often. 22%. 22% of the budget that between the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education and Basic Education are with the share. But let me tell you what you mean big ticket items that my ministry. I they call them the 3 S's. There are salaries for teachers, subsidies for schools, and school feeding. When you look at them 3, then it don't take 98% of the budget. So just for us inform you what will they do with that 22%.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Commissioner.
Well, one question say the question they ask basically if we ACC not involved, the points where I make not to that we ACC not they treat examination malpractice as integrity issue. In fact, we treat them. And inside we act, we get the power for investigate, which includes arrest, detention, and prosecution. And right now, as I speak with you, people that are in custody, where they do the indictment, for charge them to court for examination malpractice. So we involve. But the point why I don't make clear, and why they know this, we MOU with everybody, almost all the sectors that were there, including the civil society, including WIEC, the ministries. We get with they all, SLTU and all. We not to examination invigilators, not to responsibility for invigilate public exams. And at that day, the public will be one turn way into. I don't tell you now, say we only become very active. We basically militarize the process because at that time nobody was listening to us. We were basically saying this examination malpractice, the kind level way they right now, is going to destroy the fabric of this nation if we do not take drastic action. And that's why nobody will pay attention. But then, after the cotton tree incident, everybody got our attention, and now we don't take back seat again. And that backseat did not mean say we're not involved, but we prefer now let minister refer to we, let WIEC refer to we, let Alfonso refer to we, or the various actors that are refer to we. One time we self can go around for go check within the happen, and then we roll, and then our responsibility. But for expect say now we they go for go invigilate examinations, that is not correct. And I don't make sure say I communicate that to all stakeholders, and I communicate that to my team as well. We will only provide support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Mr. Kaifala, I want maybe ask you a quick follow-up question on this notion of, I know for say you say you get pay you papa na be teacher, not so?
Yes. Me papa, yes, people, like you say, I can enjoy people that say they say Ben Kaifala hate teachers. No, I don't. My papa, Mr. Ben Kaifala, na be principal na Pendembo Vocational Secondary School, PVSS in
Yes, I know this.
So
wait say I want to comment on briefly. Now, this notion say people needs in the 80s is somehow inferior to people needs today. It's actually not it's a very common mistake when we born make. Every generation thinks say your own needs are so unique, superior to the generation will be there before. It's a very common mistake anybody can make. But maybe just comment on that in terms of
me just believe say the conditions have always been there. People always be unhappy with their salaries, with their wages. If you look at teachers in those ages, if you speak to them, they will tell you the same things. But like I think many actors that had already said this, it did not lead them for do the kind of things they already see now. But maybe there are other structural issues we need to look at, and the principal made reference to it, the recruitment, the one way they come into the profession, how they are coming. How are people becoming principals after 1 year of teaching, or sometimes directly from university? How are proprietors of schools just getting anybody who is being a teacher and putting them into places, and some of them are criminals? So those are all structural issues them who we need to look at and then for dealing.
Thank you very much. Minister, you want to say something quickly on that?
Yes, just very quickly. I don't hear this before. I forget for mentioning. So two things happen. One, we get a school leadership policy where they go to cabinet in the next cabinet meeting, where they address that issue there, because we're aware that there is the possibility of that happening if you get private school where then turn into an approved school. So that will be addressed that. But in addition to that, we capacitate the school leaders as well. I have always believed that the biggest way you can spend smart money per education are school leadership, because your school leader now in a set the tone at the school.
There's a lot of evidence on that actually across schools in the world.
So we get some money from the British there. We do a new framework we call a competency-based school leadership program. Then that train, I think if I'm right, about 4,000 And then we now through MasterCard, we will continue that training day and make sure say that and they continue for make we get quality school leaders.
Thank you very much. This time I'll start on this side. I start with WAEC. You have a few questions. You get 2 minutes quickly.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope the madam will make mention of the president in statement. Of course, now the four gentlemen at the country, and we make that
The
statement.
mic up small.
I know say the statement don't begin bear fruit. Now we don't get a gathering like this. We are in for know the strategy then we will implement, follow we tap then thing and day. Of course, we all know now say na integrity issue. So therefore, we all na Yahweh Sidom, not to just for clap with one person talk, we get a responsibility. Whether you're a teacher, you're a parent, WAEC officer, minister, we all na parent that we get responsibility for play when we dey conduct exams. So go na the field and make sure say you see waiting they happen. Then of course, examination malpractice, we know they condone that. Don't give instance where the commissioner make mention of, I don't make clarification. We sit down, then catch me with that, I know they above the law. Get evidence against me, present any side, then go call me side and for call me, then from there, then go subject me to questioning. Of course, people and they where they right now where the commissioner don't attest to. So therefore, wait me they assure the general public now say we still they continue for uphold the integrity that institution they. I don't know if anybody there will hold pass for but over 74 years. If we get anybody now, so which means say we great people them don't be at the pressure, don't fight hard for let them maintain them, and we self now we own regime with the appeal let it be a national concern to everybody, though we not damage them at we own level.
Thank you.
Very much.
Alfonso, 2 minutes.
Yeah, thank you very much. So firstly, let's look at the MTHE. Well, in terms of the MTHE, they don't do something very, very important. People then they look at this technical vocational qualification for say now HND go stop. However, people then also the national qualification framework now they don't make a pathway where if that man self they go get PhD by technical vocational, you self go get PhD. And now kudos to the ministry. The Ministry of Technical and Higher Education talk about system strengthening, very important. You know, the work well done, the only issue me and not been keeping a meeting, my guy, but we'll solve that day. But the minister, we don't go to the ministry, Madam Ramatu, don't make a lot of transformation. The scholarship, the issue very transparent, the loan scheme very transparent. I will commend them for that. But the issue of my guy, we're not on the same page. Lastly, 3 important short things. Seconds. 1, for curb this malpractice, the ministry for implement section 95 of the Basic Education Act. It say NCRA for give them picking their NIN, then a NIL, compulsory. It say when they don't give them the NIL, Ministry of Education now for give them what they call unique learner ID. So with this system where Conrad they talk to, if that NIL there, you get unique learner ID, you don't know that not inside the school system. It's very easy for pick the up say this particular person is not inside the school system. This other one for the minister for law appeal to President Bill. The education sector plan they come to an end next month. Will they do the education sector analysis now? This now frank conversation. Up till now, Ministry of Finance not pull out resources they for law continue that work. And if the education sector analysis when I'm very, very important for law develop the next plan, it go very bad for let this plan done, we can extend them. We'll get a new plan, we'll look at it here. And lastly, the undertaking, when minister they talk, I don't put press release. I don't ask several questions. And waiting minister we do Conrad, it's very good. Because they say some mind from 1, from 2, now 80 picking. When you submit no more names for us, now 700. Say they pull them picking and you from 1 data na 100, you from 2 data na 100. As you go no more SSS3, it don't reach 700. So that undertaking minister, the public go give you the credit where you take action, not so when they sign the undertaking and the exam done and they expect say by now